Hi, I'm Debbie Duncan from PsychicFixes.com, and so you want to learn how to be a tarot card reader. Well, I've given a lot of workshops and training to people on it. It's always a lot of fun. And my method of doing it, really, in about 3 hours, people can start reading cards. And in that, we have like 3 hours of working on the cards and going through my method, and then we sit down and we read for each other. Because after you learn how to do tarot cards, you're going to have to practice a lot, and we'll talk about that more later. I wanted to show you that the book that I use and that I learned with is the Complete Idiot's Guide to the Tarot. So you do need to get this. It's really going to be great. I had to pull mine out of storage, so it's all dog-eared with all the places that I needed to go and get easy access to. So this is the book that you need to do my tarot card workshop. And then there is a certain deck you're going to have to use, which is a Rider-Waite tarot deck. And you can get the nice ones or special ones or whatever. But the first deck that I want you to have is just going to be a training deck. And I actually keep mine in a box. And it's very dog-eared. And you're going to be writing on it. So you need like a very thin Sharpie pen. Mine dried out, so I just have a plain felt pen here today. But that's what you need. You need a Sharpie pen, the thin one, and a Rider tarot deck. Because we're going to be matching up. This is the one I use, and we're going to be matching up with the book. So please get a deck of those. Now, I have mine in a box, and I never used to keep tarot cards anywhere special, just in its little box here that it came with. But I know some people will tell you, oh, you have to wrap them up in cloth and so on and so forth. You can do whatever you want with your tarot cards. You can even share them if somebody else wants to use them. So if you want to, just like you think you're keeping your own energy in it or whatever, then keep them to yourself. If you want to wrap them up, you can wrap them up, put them in a bag. A lot of my students brought really pretty bags with silk ties and everything. I just decided I had this box, and I go, well, it's lost its top and it's getting worn, so I'd like to keep it somewhere special. So I got as a gift this plain box, and I got to put a picture in it, and I use this all the time, and I give this to my clients. I'm going to take the time to tell you now. This is worrying does not empty tomorrow of its troubles, it empties today of its strength. And I love that saying, and I use it all the time for people. And so I just keep my cards in the box. And then I do believe in God and Jesus, and I'm baptized and all of that. And I have a cross that I actually got when I was in 6th grade. And so I keep it on top of it, because to me it's a lot of everything that you're going to be learning on Psychic Fixes is visualization, and this is, you know, Jesus is protecting my cards, so I keep that on top. So let's go over some of the things right now. You got your cards with you, and I'm going to show you how I did it. You can read this whole book. Now, in the 3 hours, we did not read this whole book, so we did the fast method, and that is learning how to do a Celtic cross spread of the cards, and the other thing was going through the cards and assigning your feeling and definition to each card in the deck. So really, that's where it takes the time. So what I want you to do is to find the place where your cards are going to have their definitions. So let's just go to swords right now. So I had a highlighter, and I highlighted as we read. And we read, when I was in a class, we read all together. And I had everyone, when I do a workshop, your cards are going to come all in order. So you'll get all the the swords together and the cups together and so on and so forth. So what I would do is go in here under that, the swords, and read like the Knight of Swords. And you're going to look at the picture, you're going to look at your card, and then you're going to read what the book says about that card. And then when you get done, I want you to hold the card in your hand and think about what the definition was, look at the picture, and then come up with your own words of what you feel that card is all about. So, for example, the Ace of Pentacles, I wrote down new financial beginning, new job. So what I did is I looked at the card. I had already read the definition. Then I studied the card and what came to my mind as being the most important thing about the definition in the book and what I saw visually in the picture. So I wrote down with a Sharpie down here, new financial beginning, new job. And then put that aside, and then you go to, the next card in the series and in the book. Just go to the next card, do the same thing. Read the definition, look at the picture, think about it. What is the most important thing that's popping into your head first about that card, and then write it. And it's funny, I picked this card up. This is my happily ever after card. It is the 10 of Cups. To me, that means like a marriage. So I put down at the bottom in my Sharpie, happily ever after. So when I'm reading cards, if somebody's looking to when they're going to get married and this comes up, then you know that is a marriage card. That's when they're going to get married. Sometimes there's 2 little children in this card, so sometimes I might get that they're going to be very happy and have a family. So anyway, that's what you're going to do for every single card in this deck. You are going to assign it a meaning. And your cards, your cards are just a tool, and you're actually going to be having the other side along with your psychic ability and the inspiration that they're going to give you, the thought they're going to give you. That's how you're going to read these cards. So it's going to flow really good to have the meaning on here, so you don't have to go look up in the book, what does it mean, and then come back and interpret it. And so it's going to be a lot easier to do it this way. And you can use these cards for a long time, especially if you're going to be doing the tarot cards online, as I do, or you're going to just do it for yourself or practice or whatever. You can use these for a long time. Now, when you start reading for people in person, you don't want to have a meaning on the death card, or the Tower is always a not fun card. You don't want them to look, oh my goodness, that could be a death, or oh my goodness, that's a terrible thing. So you want to practice enough so you don't need to have the meanings on the bottom of your cards. But for now, an inexpensive deck of cards would be great, and you can go ahead and assign that meaning to every single card. So just to recap, you're going to get the Complete Idiot's Guide. You're going to get the Rider Tarot deck. Get an inexpensive one. You're going to get a Sharpie, and you're going to go through all the different cards, the cups, the wands, the swords, and the pentacles, and you're going to read the definition. Then you're going to look at the picture, and then you're going to come up with your strongest meaning, the strongest thought on that card that comes into your head, because that's what you're getting psychically. And the other side is going to know what that meaning is, so that when you ask them for help to do this card reading, the right cards will come up, and you can depend on that meaning. I do a lot of readings every month. I mean, probably 70 to 90 readings. You can depend on it because I'm right on the money, and I can predict a lot of things. And so just go and trust how you wrote that down on the card the first time, and those cards are going to stick with that meaning each time you do a reading. So that's the first part, and then the next part right now we're going to set up, and I'm going to teach you how to do a Celtic cross along with how to start reading your cards.